with a commercial airline or ground crew, such as a mechanic or?
I didn't. But see, maybe I wasn't as aggressive as some other people. And I wasn't out to try to change the world. I knew I was going to make a living, and I knew I would make it. But I didn't. But there were guys. The guy, Perry Young, just died recently. He broke the color barrier for commercial airlines, actually, but he didn't get a chance to fly a commercial plane until way after the war. I mean, he didn't get a chance. I think it was probably in the 50s before he got a job flying a commercial plane. I got a commercial license, but I didn't do a lot of trying to get in because I knew from experience that you wasn't going to get one, and I was going to go to law school, and I wasn't going to take the time fighting that battle when I had already knew where I was going.
We're going to move to the present day experiences. Why and in what capacity are you involved with the Tuskegee Airmen?
Well, Tuskegee Airmen, I guess, is an organization that was organized with the idea of keeping the memory of the participation of black flyers alive after the war. And in addition to that, they made an effort to give some opportunities, give something back to young blacks. And they have. I mean, they got a scholarship fund, and they try to educate. They have a publicity, guys that make speeches, and go around making speeches to people and telling them about what the Air Force has to offer. And now, of course, they try to recruit blacks to go to the Army Air Force Academy. No, Air Force Academy, not Army anymore, just straight Air Force Academy. They have attempted to recruit. They aren't recruiting as many as they ought to, and I guess there aren't as many who ought to be interested as it should be. But I think that certainly here in Chicago, they've made some effort and have, in some instances, had some success in making the young people aware of the Air Force Academy and have had an opportunity to aid somebody in getting in the Air Force Academy.
What is the role of the Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated today?
Well, so far as I'm concerned, it's just what I was saying. They publicized the participation of black flyers in World War II, what they did, and they have the scholarship fund. They have the guys we have guys that are, especially one guy who is using his own plane, but he gets some contribution from other guys in the Tuskegee Airmen buying gas, I guess. But they give free rides to young people and flying from Meigs Field. And they give them a chance to be exposed to air flight.
You had briefly touched on the 1995 HBO movie, The Tuskegee Airmen. Overall, what did you think of the movie?
It was an interesting movie, and it made you remember some of the things that happened. And I could picture a lot of the things that they had what should I say? They had some excerpts of some things that happened that I could picture those things happening. And just like the little boy in the field when the airplane flew over, I could see me watching the airplanes go over and thinking in terms about, that's not for me. And like the guys that they had in that movie where they landed on the field where there were some black men that were out there in the field, and they couldn't believe that they were black guys flying those airplanes. But I don't think that, there still might be some strange places where they would be strange, but they're not as strange as they used to be. We got black captains now flying commercial planes, and that never would have happened then.
In conclusion, just a few more questions. What would you like to say specifically to young kids today? For people, young men and women.
I would think that they have a goal, and it doesn't have to be President of the United States or President of the corporation. Just be that you're going to get your lessons today that you're going to pass this semester, and you're going to get some good grades that get you into the next grade, you know. But set goals and actually work toward those goals and spend some time on doing it. You don't have to be a brain to be able to be successful. You don't have to be a genius. All you have to do is be willing to work. I used to tell my own son, who is very successful, and I would tell him, I said, you don't have to be a genius. Just be willing to work, because most of the people aren't going to work, and you'll be ahead of them. And he would work and does work, and has been very successful.
As far as your career choices, how did the Tuskegee Airmen experience affect those choices for your goals later in life?
Say that again?
How did the Tuskegee Airmen experience help with your career choices and your goals later in life? How did that whole experience play a part in your life?
I guess I'm not able to pinpoint it like I would like to, but my whole feeling that I take away from it is you do what you've got to do, and you have to have some discipline, and you have to work as a team.
And finally, how would you like for the Tuskegee Airmen experience to be remembered?
It was a group of well-educated kids, well-educated for that period, because you see, in the original groups, all of them had college, either had college degrees or at least 2 years of college. So they weren't just anybody. These people had some education and had some ability, and some were, I mean, really brilliant. I mean, they had guys at Tuskegee Airmen who have been very, very successful. And if I wanted to do a little research for you, I could dig up a lot of names, like mayors of cities, corporate executive officers, engineers. They've had guys that have been very successful who were members of the Air Force, not necessarily the original 99, because the 99 was just one squadron. They had initially started out with one squadron, but they had the 332nd Fighter Group after the 99. And instead of having 3 squadrons, they had 4 squadrons, because 99 was added to the 332nd. So they had 4 squadrons, which was not usual for that time. But a lot of those guys were very successful and have done very well for themselves.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, telling your story, Judge. Again, you might not believe that you're a hero, but to some people you are a hero, and we certainly appreciate you taking your time telling your story.
Well, it's nice of you to say that, and I wish that I could, but back 60 years ago, talking about it, I would probably remember more about it and could tell you more details about what took place. But I find that memory fades as you get older.
Well, at least we'll have this on records. We'll never be able to forget these stories, and that's a good thing. Okay, that's it. I think he's going to take some shots of your photos.
Okay.
Unnecessary evil, so that we have the light needed to.
What?
This photograph I'm looking at right now, the bottom one here, what is this?
This is the original 99.
Okay, this is the original 99?
Now, is this the first class or the 5th class?
That includes 5 classes.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like they're in different kind of uniforms.
Yeah, it
One's
does.
darker than the other.
No, but that's not a distinguishing mark on these. These were guys, though, that made up the original pilots in the 99. I think one of those might have come out of the newspaper, might have had a story behind it, but I don't know what's going on. But that's who they are. Are you still taking a picture?
This black guy at West Point?
In modern times. I think it might have been somebody back for the turn of the century or something. he gets credit for being the first one, and he took the silent treatment.
This picture here, what is this one?
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, those are people, you know, when you graduate, guys usually would have a girlfriend come down and pose with them when they graduate. And that's me with a friend that I had that came out from Chicago. And this person, he married her. That's he just died about 2 years ago. He lives in Florida. The war, see, that's a lot of years are going by. He wasn't shown. That was it. King, Knight, and Clark. King got killed before he went overseas. And Knight is still living. He's out in Las Vegas. And Bud Clark, I think he's...
This one where you're putting on the parachutes reminds me of my first time I had this particular model of camera. My brother, he says, I want to learn how to jump out of an airplane with you. And he went through all this, and he has about the same look on his face as it's on these pictures of you guys strapping up and going like,
Yeah.
do I really want to do this?
And they asked, does anybody know how to fly a plane? You
But
think you could?
No, I probably couldn't. But if nobody else was going to take over, I would make a try.
Okay.
It's better than the alternative.
I'd make it. No, I couldn't fly. No. Even how good those pictures can come out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they scan them right into the computer. I used to write, but then there's so many problems in a journalist.
No, you didn't ask me for this. But, she said in a letter, I just got it today, by the way. So they wanted me something to show that I was in the service. And that's Coffee. Coffee was a pilot and a mechanic. And Willie Brown, they married. But Willie Brown was running the moving forces business behind getting them started. It's the pilot training program.
Don't forget the big boy.
I can still wear it. And this is, I wore this jacket back in 1944. So that's...
All the guys that did so far, you're the only one that still has the jacket.
Oh, yeah?
I've not seen it.
Oh, this...
Can I get you to turn your left side towards me a little more so I can see the emblem? I mean, that's something, it's not.
Who's the civilian instructor that we went out to the house? Was that Mr. Highcroft?
I'm terrible with all the names.
Civilian instructor.
Yeah, he was an instructor. He wasn't a, I guess he had...
Was that Marshall
bad
Knox?
vision. Huh?
Marshall Knox?
Don't ring a bell.
We just went to his house the last
Yeah. That was one where he parked in his sister's driveway, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I think because he wore glasses, he wasn't able to be a pilot, so he was a civilian instructor.
I don't know. Marshall Knox was a good pilot. And he's still flying, I believe. He was relatively, up until a couple of years ago, he was flying.
Being stubborn, huh?
I think they knew that.
I know he had zip up.
I zipped it up.
These new cameras are very cool that you can get everything. That I could even read your J.W. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
What's the
Off.
patch?
You know, when I took it off, I think I pulled the button.
I can see a chain like in over the sun or moon, is that?
Yeah, what is that symbol?
What's that?
That patch that
That's the Tuskegee Airmen slogan.
But I mean,
That is the 99th. Each one of those squadrons in the 332nd had a slogan. And the other outfits did them too. But this one was for the 9. That signal means the 99th.
What is that, a map?
No, that's supposed to be, I don't know, it's a tiger or something.
Oh,
it looks like a tiger, and then over the, I can't tell if it's a sun or a moon, there's like a chain over the moon, and then just above it there's a chain.
I got a book over there somewhere which got the slogans in it. But I saw it when I was bringing that stuff home. I was going through some of the stuff I had to have work.
And you can see the hands underneath it with a wrench. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars, I think. I tell you, I can
But
see
some
a lot.
guys in my outfit designed it.
Cool. What I just did is I captured the image in the camera, so it's nice and steady. And I'm videotaping it right now.
Yeah.
we move up.
I don't like
See, I'm taking a picture of you.
Do that dissolve, man. Do that dissolve.
Oh, because then when I push it out, but that's one of the tricks that I can do when I'm doing things.